Hello everyone, my name is Kenmei and welcome to Project Resplendent, a series of videos where I give early units in Fire Emblem Heroes a Resplendent treatment based on your suggestions, so feel free to leave a few suggestions in the comments. And after more than a month of hiatus, we are back with one of the designs I was most eager to tackle for this series, Resplendent May in a Dokkalfr outfit. For this one, I actually took, I think, all of the Dokkalfr designs we had, including Plumeria, Trianda, not Freya. Actually, not Freya. And I didn't have Ophelia when I designed this. That tells you how long this design has been waiting. But we are going to tackle Sweet May. I'm really happy because Shadows of Valentia is one of the only games I've played in the series, so of course its characters are quite dear to me. First thing first, the posing is pretty important. I think the artist who did May was Gao, and it was a nice illustration, no problem, but I think it lacks the sassiness May has. And so I try to reproduce that, especially in her original art. She's stretching in all her length, winking, and instead of replicating the pose, I took the liberty to make her even sassier. I guess my take on the pose would be also more in line with the Dokkalfr attitude, behavior, style, personality. Just your word. Usually fairy resplendents, maybe they don't ooze with power, but you have that feeling that they are more powerful, more, I guess the word would be bold. So now I'm going to just talk a bit more about the design. I let it flow a bit. As you can see, it looked like a bit like a Chinese dress. Not to say this is bad, but a nice little touch I noticed when I was doing it. As you can see, the hair pieces are reminiscent of what Plumeria has. The little flower the fairies and resplendents usually have around the neck is this time an orchid to, make a reference to her tome. And actually, if someone can tell me why they went with orchid tome, I would be glad to understand their choice. Below it, the leaves are a bit more like a tie, and I think that gives a bit more personality to May overall. As for the boots and later on the upper part of the upper skirt, I went with what we see on Triandra. You see that Triandra has these nice petals with, I would say, iridescent colors with this nice gradient. And I thought it would be a nice replacement to the to May's fluffy boots and to the armor piece around her hips. As for the shoulders, I completely took Dalthea's design because they come from the same game. They do have a similar design already thanks to the priestess class in Shadows of Valentia, so let's not make things overcomplicated, right? As for colors, you'll actually see that it wasn't that hard to find a matching pattern. Thanks, Plumeria, for your sacrifice. But I think the slightly lighter pink really suits May well, and especially makes the vines and the slight hints of green pop even more. As you can see, okay, so the shading process is going to take a bit long, so I'm going to make a fast forward, but one of the most interesting part in the Fairy Resplendent is, of course, the wingy cape. The capey wing? I don't know, the wings, the pattern. And let's just say I did that in the variants, so you're not going to see that right now. Since the shading is going on, I'm just going to note a few things. I don't know, maybe in the thought process overall, when designing these characters, I tend to try and think how how it could be cosplayable. If someone was bold enough to make a cosplay of it, or like the design enough to make a cosplay of it, how would it work? How would the layers work? And I think the thought process really helps to make the design look nice. Maybe it's not Faye. Maybe it doesn't look like what Faye would do, or it isn't enough Fire Emblem-y. That's a new word. But I do think it makes the design overall more interesting. And we're here finally with the wings, going for not the hot pink, but actually a nice gradient from pink to what? Purple, making the color scheme rich even more, linking the pink and the green. And let's be honest, I didn't make the fanciest of wing pattern, but making it simple is also nice. It might fool your opponent into thinking you're actually harmless. But that was it for May's Resplendent. It was actually a lot of fun, but the reason why it took me so long is just because I wanted to make an attack art and a damage art. It's just, I eventually had a hard time going for it. I guess last month wasn't the best for me. Maybe I'll do that for next Resplendent, but I'll try to focus more just on the basic art, making it maybe less sketchy than I used to do. Like the more into the series we're going, the less sketchy they are, and I think this is a good idea. Maybe one day I'll put on a poll, and based on the various designs I've already made, you could choose which one would be fully done, like a true Fire Emblem Heroes character. Yeah, maybe I should do that. So that was it for Dokkalfr May. I'm really happy about the result. I think the more we're going into it, the better it's becoming. So next time, I think for the moment, I'm going to stick to one a month. Usually in the middle of the month. Let's try this schedule, shall we? And next one is going to be from Nidavellir, but I won't spoil who it is. So this will actually be the last one for this first series. I think next month I'm going to put on a poll just to see who's going to be next after the Nidavellir Resplendent. So be on the lookout for that. And for the next video, I should be back for the next new heroes, whatever they are. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, take good care of yourselves, everyone.